world. Sir?
This man is not a hero, he's a criminal.
Shut up!
Hello, sirs and madams. It's your buddy Admiral Teag. It's good to see you. Welcome to the show. Hi, everybody. Let people know I'm live. Bring people into the show. It's a bonus Friday show after a weird week where, let's face it, after what happened on Tuesday, I just didn't even have it in me to go live on Thursday. Anyone who is here knows what happened. We won't get into it too much. Hopefully everything goes okay. I got a weird text today. Well, not a weird text. I got a text today from my friend Sean. You guys know him. You guys love him, right? So Sean texts me. He goes, actually, he DM'd it to our chat group. He goes, I saw a movie last night where I was actually laughing. It was pretty funny. It wasn't. It was a lot better than I expected. It wasn't Airplane by any long stretch, but someone finally made a movie that was pretty self-aware and funny, and he was recommending, maybe not as a theater experience, but recommending as a movie, Who's That Train? He didn't call it, Stop That Train. He didn't call it earth-shattering. He didn't say it was the biggest thing ever. But he did mention that it had some kind of, entertainment value. It was worth seeing. He said he laughed out loud 4 or 5 times. He said it was consistently funny through the whole thing, like he was, laughing, snickering. The whole thing was lighthearted. I just checked. It's the perfect length for a comedy. It's 92 minutes, so you're not going to be sitting there getting beat up on the whole time. And it's nice to see everybody. Welcome to Teag's Intense Talk Show. This is the movie we're talking about. It is, believe it or not, here we go. This is the poster. It's, get this, the director kind of knows what he's doing. This is the deal. This is not, I have a little more faith in this, is the way I'll put it, than I have in, hey, Gavin, what's up, man? Good to see you. Look, I have a little more faith in this movie actually being worth 92 minutes of your life. Not that I think it's got anything going for it that's memorable or that it's going to be some kind of genre-defining movie. I think someone probably made a semi-quality movie in the style of Airplane and in the style of the Zucker movies. I think that that's what someone did, and I think people were ready for it, and it worked. The preposterous plot has President RuPaul in what seemed, Sean would have said if they were going after Trump, she was just the president because she needed to be president for this stupid movie. The movie is aware that it's stupid, from what I can tell. I watched the trailer. It's as dumb as could be. It had me laughing a couple of times, too. Here's the deal, as I said. This guy, he is the director and the guy who wrote it. They are like, Hello, Rocco the Brave. Good to see you. Hey, them drag queens made an entertaining movie. I won't quit it. I won't quite it, but worth the time at least. I won't quote it, but worth the time at least. A few people said that. This is what I'm thinking. Ready? Here's the actual people who dress up as women and go out and make their money. And RuPaul is a professional entertainer, okay? RuPaul is a professional entertainer. She knows how to make people laugh. She's worked off a live crowd. I respect the pronouns of the RuPaul character. Everyone in New York has had an encounter with RuPaul. They're a nice person. Anytime I've ever run into them, I've talked to Wes Cagle about some of the stuff with earlier in life. You know, back in the 20th century when we used to do things and run into people, this was someone you'd see around in New York City. And RuPaul was consistently like a nightclub entertainer. You could go anywhere. She's in the movie Bad Lieutenant. What is that movie, 1988? Is it 89? Maybe it's 1990. I want to say it's 1989. So she's in that. She's in various things before that. She's on The Gong Show going back to the early 80s. So, you know, this person, like, when you encounter them, they're funny right up front. And they can deliver with the comedic, just like, talk. Then, whatever, the singing voice, acceptable. The supermodel idea, I was there when those people were talking about it, like in the early stages. I heard them like sort of conniving this idea. And then when the song came out, it was pretty well produced and pretty good. It was a decent hooky pop song. It had that going for it. The world was just ready for something weird, right? Delight had a couple of hits. People were ready for something weird. It was a big bassy pop song. It wasn't anything that serious. And it looks like this movie fits right into that niche where it's just going to be weird. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Teag boy, sir, Admiral, sir, John, sir, hello. It's good to see everybody. Look, people are going to come flowing in. I'll be on for a while. We're going to hang out. Here's the deal. Tuesday's show was going good. We were peaking out there. We were starting to rise in concurrence. People were starting to realize, hey, you know, back on Tuesdays and Thursdays more regularly. And then Germ had to split. We're not going to get deeply into it, but he had to. Obviously, I'm here solo today. Hopefully he'll be here on Saturday for Star Trek, where we wrap up Enterprise, and we have a great surprise for you with that one. We have Welchie, RRTNZ, who wrote the bio of my ex, will be on with us to give the fans' point of view, along with maybe some other people. And we're really looking forward to wrapping up. Not that we don't want to do it anymore, but we're really looking forward to bringing the fandom's journey to an end. Years ago, you guys started with the original series. Now, a lot of you have seen all of it from one point of reviewing. We finished the final leg with a different style. Now you know how I do things. You'll see us moving forward. We're going to have TOS, and I think it's going to be fantastic. The only thing that we're going to deviate with is on the 4th of July, we're going to do our show anyway. We are going to make it I believe that will be 107 straight weeks of Admiral Teag. I have no issue with RuPaul. They have good action, good shtick. Yeah, like, that's the thing. This kind of comedy can work and can come off, and it doesn't look like they tried to do specifically gay comedy. This does not look like it's specifically for a gay audience. The dude who wrote it and choreographed it, he is gay, all right? He mostly does dancey, singy stuff and things like that, and this whole thing is not really supposed to be overly serious. It is supposed to be slapstick. We are talking a shared sensibility with Airplane. Is it going to be the greatest movie ever? I don't know if it's going to be any good. It could be terrible, but, you know, I tend to trust Sean. Sean said he was laughing throughout the whole thing. Rocco the Brave also always has a good take. He said that it made him laugh. It was consistently funny. I could believe that. So here's this movie. The good news for Supergirl is this movie is in theaters right now. Supergirl starts next week. And let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, sirs and madams. Whoa. This is what we have for Supergirl. This is what they're giving us, okay? Truth, justice, whatever. All right, this is a second tier DC character, okay? This is the second straight movie starring a CGI dog, where the humans are there for comic relief. I'm not digging her outfit. I don't understand it. When I look at it more, I'm even more confused. Okay, forget the Supergirl outfit. It's close enough. What's with the coat? What's with the cape? You know, obviously Supergirl has a slightly different outfit. I don't get the orange earth tone coat. I'll never see another DC movie ever again. I don't know. I think that, like, the chances of James Gunn making more than one or two more, because, like, things are in the pipeline, things are moving. Changing DC is going to be like turning around a battleship. And James Gunn obviously will get, like, one or two more chances, it would look like. Because what's happening is, just like with buying Paramount, the Warner Brothers acquisition by the Ellisons is going slower than expected, but nobody's saying it's not going to happen. They're just like, oh yeah, just give it. It's not going to happen overnight like people thought. It's going to go real slow. And I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know whether it's that they're not great with mergers and acquisitions. I don't know that there's so many rules with communications companies and it takes years and years. I don't know. It's because we've siphoned down to so few film houses that when you absorb one, like, you're taking out like 16 to 18% of the market. I mean, what are we down to? Like 4 to 8 people making movies, and we got 8 people here, which is fantastic. Thank you, all of you. Do me a favor, hit the like and follow button. As you can see from the banner, watching for a little while with the browser open, it's only going to help. I'll turn that off so you can see the full glory. I mean, let's scroll up and down a little bit. All right, so she's leaning it up against the wall. It's got the typical James Gunn sort of aesthetic going on here. What do I mean? Okay, why is she wearing wired-in 1980s Walkman headphones? These are not so far in the past. Guardians of the Galaxy not too long ago. This is Star-Lord gear, guys, sirs and madams. This is Star-Lord gear, okay? So she's got the Supergirl outfit mostly covered up. She's got, obviously, again, her own weird take on it that sort of aligns with what we saw with David Corenswet. People complaining today on X they weren't wild about the Corenswet outfit. I said, well, yeah, it's badly designed, Mandarin collar, and it's because it's like C-3PO's red arm. You want to differentiate it from other merchandise. And they were like, no, actually, I found that part acceptable. It was that it was ill-fitted. And I got to admit, yeah, they went for like a denim-y kind of like Superman outfit in that one. So, yeah, it wasn't what we were used to seeing in a few different ways. We've seen a few different takes in the Superman outfit, and I would say that Dean Cain had the last full-on recognizable one on a human, you know, that was, as far as very much the traditional Superman outfit. With Snyder, they get away with a pretty big change, but it makes sense, and it's aesthetically sort of okay with the all-blue outfit. No one minds. And if you want, do me a favor. Tweet out that we're live. X loves that. Like, they love it. I mean, YouTube, rather, loves that. They'll give the show a little bit of a push. And we did really good with rewatching on Tuesday, although obviously I will apologize. I wasn't myself after the show had to be changed abruptly in the middle there. I was a little concerned. I'm not going to overplay it. I'm not going to try to pity farm on this one. It was a big deal, and I was not able to really get a handle on what was going on for a while. Not that I do now. So anyway, here we've got Supergirl on one hand, and then this is, honestly, I could see this movie beating up on it. This movie will only be in its, like, I don't know, it'll be out in its second weekend, in the middle of its second week when Supergirl drops on like a Wednesday. So it's a niche kind of thing. And it's from the guy who made the remake of Hairspray. So you know what you're going to get there. With Supergirl, I mean, a little different. James Gunn, the thing is, he's just as known of a quantity. Would you want to see a movie that tries, and I've heard at least touches with the tips of its fingers, the tradition of a movie like Airplane, or something like Real Genius, or any of those Zucker Abrams movies, or the movies that made in their style, the Leslie Nielsen comedies, the ones from the 80s, Police Squad? a movie that tries to do that and maybe makes it like a third of the time and is never truly terrible versus this, this is looking pretty terrible. And I can already feel some of the defenses coming on. Now, Clownfish TV, I think is where I heard this. They chopped 31 or 34 minutes out of this thing before they released it. I don't know if they have a final runtime with it yet. I heard they got it down under 2 hours. How far below 2 hours is hard to say. The rule is it's got to be at least 70 minutes long or it's not a movie, right? That's why a lot of movies just have like really long credit sequences that are like part of the movie at the beginning there. And like some of these movies that have after credit sequences, they might get saved by that because I don't know. Like runtime versus like the time of the movie. Like, let's face it, a lot of people stayed at the end of most Star Wars movies just to hear the music on a great sound system. But what is that like? That's like literally like 8 minutes. It's not really part of the movie. I mean, what do you get out of it? You know, there's nothing at the end. You get to enjoy the music and see the names of the people who made this artistic film. With Supergirl, we're going to be pelted with songs that you already know the artist. We know we're going to hear a Gwen Stefani song or a No Doubt song. I have no doubt that we'll hear No Doubt. I mean, it's just like this movie is just screaming. It's just screaming Captain Marvel, who kind of is Marvel's reverse Superman character. Captain Marvel is a woman for all sorts of weird reasons that precede wokeism. Captain Marvel comes from the same character as Shazam. And now with this whole thing here, with the Supergirl thing, it looks like they're sort of, I don't know like what's going on, who's at the stick here at Warner Brothers. It looks like this James Gunn thing, it seemed okay at the time. Like on paper, it seemed okay at the time. Marvel had been big, and he had milked the last couple of relevant things out of it, the last couple of things that people wanted to see, right? So no one thinks Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of peak Marvel. Maybe some people do, but no one is totally like, you know, going on and on about Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was better than what we have been getting. It was an improvement, and it was kind of a callback to better Marvel. So it left the door open for some hope, and it might have actually, and this is the thing about the Marvel franchise. A movie that's a little bit better will keep the door open for hope for other movies, and maybe even increase the case that a not-so-great movie might have been okay. It's going to keep a not-so-great movie kind of relevant. So with a Marvel movie, like something like Deadpool and Wolverine coming out when it did, kept the conversation going that it couldn't save the Captain Sam Falcon Man movie that I've talked to you guys about and that I went to see, but it did do a little bit for the brand, and that Captain Sam Falcon Man movie probably would have been a much, much bigger disaster without the Deadpool and Wolverine movie doing all right, making money, not upsetting people, bringing back a bit of the reason why people would go see the movie in the first place. So it was enjoyable in that sense. Now, I had some fun with this. I thought it was a fun picture. You could tell me. I don't know. The Supergirl movie, it just doesn't look so great. All right? This is not something that anyone is super, like, excited to see. And I think they want to get it out of the movie theaters as fast as they can. Now, I don't know how bad this is going to be as far as how much resources it's tied up. How committed are they? Right now, Warner Brothers looks like they're going to be bought. I mean, they're going to be bought one way or another is the way it looks, right? So we've got this Warner Brothers thing going on where there's nobody really. The adults have left the room. The only way to put it, this is the same situation that we saw with Star Trek. Okay, this is what we saw in Star Trek. And here's your thumbnail for Supergirl. All right, I couldn't find any AI art that made sense, but Supergirl versus Super Train or Stop That Train, like explanation point every word. I have a feeling that in 90 minutes you're not going to feel too abused as long as you don't go. It's not telling you got to see this movie in IMAX. Stop That Train seems like a 2D movie that you see in regular dimensions, that you see in a regular movie theater, that you see for like $12. I think it's going to sell more tickets, but maybe only make comparable money as far as generated. There's going to be a case where people are going to be able to say, hey, look, sir, Admiral, like it generated so much more money that it's, you know what? I don't think so. I think that it's going to lose money in the form of theaters that have been reserved and theaters that are, premium seat licensing and other stuff like that. And, I'll say it right now. I think this movie's probably going to end up losing money in the end as far as Supergirl.
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir, that was so controversial.
Oh, no.
Sir,
I can't believe this terrible thing has happened. I'll be right back so I can fix it. Damn.
Sir,
I'm sorry about that one. Whoa.
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir.
Oh. You think 40 times is enough? Maybe that was... What's funny is we're hitting higher concurrence now than we had before when I was just talking. So maybe it did help. Who knows? Sorry about that one. StreamYards didn't kick me or lock me. What it did was it locked my controls. So, I hit my... I hit my soundboard, and boy, did it ever go crazy. It glitched, and it kicked me. You know what? Let's take a look.
Enhance 15 to 23.
All right, it's okay now. Sorry about that one, guys. We'll clip that one out later. Wow, weird. Let's see what everyone has to say who's out there and what's going on now that I finally have control. That was terrible and actually controversial. Let's see what's going on. Wes Cagle is here. Hello, sir. Why did AI make Supergirl look like a lolly in the thunder? Okay, I made her head 30% bigger. That's why. I made Supergirl's head 30% bigger in the picture so that I would have something going that was a little bit different than original. Also, I gave her the Melissa Benoist Supergirl outfit. I had to grind this together from different AI pictures. First, I had to put, Supergirl, together because she's wearing the coat in every picture. So I had to put the Supergirl outfit on her. As you can see, it's a more traditional Supergirl outfit. It's like a cross-up between Melissa Benoist and, Helen Slater. So a more traditional Supergirl outfit that finally makes a little more sense on her. Then we put RuPaul in the background. Why is RuPaul president? I don't know. Then I told it, make Supergirl kind of dirty. Filth her up a little bit. But put some dirt on the suit, but it didn't dirty up her face. It still wasn't looking so great. Time was running out, so I was like, AI, sir, make her head 30% bigger. And it did. It didn't, I guess Millie Allpenis has a really small, cranium, because when I expanded the size of Millie Allpenis's head, it was still only about the same size as a normal person. Now, I've heard it all, and I'm with the people who say it. She looks like Emil Minty. She really does. It's bizarre how much she looks like the feral kid from Road Warrior, the second Mad Max movie. I don't know what to tell you about that one. But now that I've recovered from my confusion and my tech glitch, which is on StreamYards, not me. I mean, geez, wow. At least you got to hear controversial 60 times. Hello, Gavin. Hello, Wes Cagle. Hello, Rocco the Brave. Hello, John. It would be great to get some more people in here and really start lighting it up. If you're out there, lurking, that'd be a great time to say hello. We got 7 watching, which is fantastic. Even if it was just 1, I would be thrilled. It's great to be here on short notice. What can I tell you? We have had a crazy schedule, and we have these 2 movies in front of us. Now, they're not really going to be in the movie theater at the same time, but I have a feeling with the low commitment, the low price, no need for a premium seat license, and probably decent word of mouth, that this movie's going to be sticking around for a while as far as the RuPaul movie. I can see it making money. I don't think it took a lot of money to make. The worse the special effects, the better. Sir. RuPaul's a professional comic and entertainer who's got a grounded sense of reality. RuPaul, I'm not going to claim to be friends there. I've had interactions with Paul, RuPaul, her. whatever you want to call it. They go with whatever they are at the time. To the guy who does it, RuPaul's a character. They have a very firm and grounded understanding of this and dress as a dude most of the time that I used to see them in the 20th century, many years ago. Music, common producers, seeing people around. This is a consistently funny person that was able to put people into a club for their comedy routine and for their music and for their video comedy. And the music was comedic too. Like, it was campy, comedic music. Like, Supermodel is not supposed to be serious, and I think everyone's pretty well aware of that, right? I mean, just listen to the lyrics. They're just a bunch of things that, like, gay dudes would yell that were, like, being put into movies. Like, there was that Showgirls movie where they're, like, yelling and talking like that and other things of that nature, showing you that culture. Showgirls might be a little later, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I think the Showgirl was still unsaved by the bell, right, when Supermodel came out. And who knows, they may have been the first person to play that record ever in the world, because I knew about it before anyone did. Like, I was aware of that in the production phase. And when they got the first copies of it at the college radio station, like, I spun it for the hell of it because, like, one of my friends is the writer. Like, I know Larry T. He's weird but cool DJ. I haven't seen him in forever either. The last time I saw him was in the airport in Amsterdam. Talk about freaking weird. You know, he's standing there looking for your arrival, and someone you haven't seen in 15 years walks up and starts standing next to you. That was fucking bizarre. Showgirls gave me a way different feeling than RuPaul ever has. Yeah, Showgirls was hot chicks. Who thought that Jessie's boobs would look so weird? There was something weird. I mean, she's not getting thrown out of here, come by. But, I mean, she was weird looking. We wanted to see Gina Gershon as naked as possible. Gina Gershon, like, at the fringes of, like, a couple of movies in a row. It's just like, she's on the edge of Fatal Attraction. Is that the one with Sharon Stone, right? Then she's at the edge of Bound with Jennifer Tilly, and then she's in Showgirls, right? And she's sort of a little more front and center in the second two movies. And she's also, like, isn't she, like, the hooker girlfriend, the hooker pal who gets, like, beat down in Working Girl, right? Isn't she Julia Roberts' friend in Working Girl? So Gina Gershon is, like, the prettier girl in a lot of movies about women who are hot. I mean, she even looked hot getting thrown down the stairs in Working Girl. I'm sorry, in Showgirls. Wow, she's in a lot of movies with the word girl in it. But Gina Gershon, obviously everyone enjoyed her career. She was gorgeous. She could act. She brought some weird energy. I don't know exactly how to describe it. She was in a lot of weird fucking movies that were weird and, like, female-centric before wokeism. So, you know, when those movies could still be good, Gina, man. Talk about from Scarface? Or Gina Gershon? Okay, Gina Gershon. Yeah, all right. Well, Gina Gershon, she had such a great figure. She's on the edge of all those movies. She's always playing a lesbian, whether she is or not. I actually don't think so. I think she was, you know, straight, but, I mean, who knows? You know, surprise, famous person I've never met. Don't know the first thing about Gina Gershon except that a lot of success throughout the late 80s and mid-90s. Going strong up until about 2000. I know I kind of lost track of her, but hadn't she maybe made enough money? I'm sure she was doing pretty well. And again, I debuted these on Tuesday, but that show was truncated and weird. You know, I heard you guys said to me, Admiral, sir, you look like a gay pimp in the Italian red light district outside of, like, Milan. You got to get some better glasses. So these are, like, I had these around anyway. These are Wayfarers. Honestly, the Wayfarer frames are $200 no matter what you do with them. Holy shit, Pearl Vision, $800? I went to an independent lens maker and got him to make 2 plastic lenses for, like, $60 a lens. If they get fucked up or scratched, who cares? Their transitions, I'll be okay. But wow. Like, I would be no good without my glasses. I'm like several pairs deep now, thank God. like we all need to be. And I've got like a few months supply of contact lenses, but you save those for when you need them. It's like weird. It's like I'm a lane that way. It's like you got to be sponge worthy. So I don't know that Supergirl is anything worth seeing, and I don't know that anyone wants to see it. But here's the complaints. Now it's turning into like some sort of like woke sort of thing where like we could. I don't know how to explain it. Supergirl's actress seems to be getting set up rather expertly, in my opinion, to take the fall for this movie that we can all tell. Does anyone think it's going to work out? And I'm curious about the poll, because it's actually possible that the poll would be like a no-win for both movies. Like, I can totally see you guys not being into both of them. So let me take a look. Let's see. Let's take a look at your reactions to this one. All right. Which of these are you most likely to see? And I mean, like, would you sit through it? Wow, Jackass, totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. Couple of people seeing Supergirl. Stop that train. Gets a curiosity results. Listen, you're all wonderful people for being here. I appreciate people voting in the poll and taking part in it. It's got 9 votes. I declare this poll closed. It's not going to be like... let's face it. It's not going to be a lot of competition on that one. There's not a lot of passion for any of the movies. I'm saying this. A lot of movies were made and will continue to be made with this sort of idea that you need to make a movie that like can be semi-quality, because there's people out there who just need to go see a movie. My uncle, he's like 85, but he's like this. It's like when I see my uncle, he's like, oh, you know what? Like, Shang-Chi wasn't too bad. And, like, at that point, he was, like, whatever, 79. So I was like, really? He's like, it was all right. And I'm like, what was good about it? He's like, don't really remember too much of it, but it wasn't too bad. And, I just needed a movie. And I knew what he meant by that, because people his age, it's like, that was their escapism. Like, your mind goes to a different place. My mom lived up the street from a movie theater. She would go see movies just to deal with the AC. Like, hey, Trek reviewers here. It's good to see you. You have to understand the world that our parents and grandparents lived in. This was the deal. During the day, almost nobody had a job. And if you had a job, it was gig-like, kind of like today, right? So, like, on any given day, a lot of people didn't have any work. That's why baseball games, especially in Chicago, were like daytime. You also had contractors and people who like worked 6 to 2 who could be at like 2:30 like games for the Chicago Cubs. Isn't that still their time? Like some weird time, like 2:25 for Chicago Cubs games. So you've got these weird customs with that. Hey, buddy, it's good to see you, sir. Hello. Howdy, it's good to see you. Welcome to the show. Guys, watching with the browser open helps. Tweeting out that we're live helps. It's been a bit of a break. We've been letting a few things happen. First of all, let's talk about it a little bit. There was a bit of a platform change, and the idea of what was authentic and inauthentic was sort of, being debated and kicked around. We had a lot of blow up about that, and it became extremely hard to figure out what was going on. All we knew that there was tremendous noise. And Saturday nights became really risky on the sense that with all the Star Trek going on at the same time, it became very noisy and people were going back and forth between the two shows. It probably contributed to one of the shows getting demonetized. And, it was just diversity. Like, not that I'm a DEI hire, but Yellowstone, video essays, and a lot of uploads where I was giving my opinion or out of the theater reaction type uploads probably saved this channel and made it different enough and gave it enough like eclecticness that it had something to it. And that brings us to our second thing of the day, which would be Dutton Ranch. I caught up with last week's episode. I'm still one behind on this week's episode. Okay, so I didn't watch this week's episode. I want to save that one to watch with Germ. I'm excited to see it and then watch it again. This is like what we usually do, and I couldn't do it this week, is I watch Dutton Ranch, then I watch it again with Germ, and he helps me get it figured out, right? and he just like outright explains the Yellowstone stuff that's going on. And Dutton Ranch can be fun. Let's get some Dutton Ranch pictures going on, shall we? Hey, there's Rip and Beth from a couple of weeks ago in the kitchen in the morning. He finally told her about that body in the well. If I had to make a video about the most important development of the last 2 weeks, he finally is like, I found a body on the land. It flooded over. They've stuck with that. They haven't changed it. He hasn't restated it. They keep playing that in the catch-up, the previously on. So I'm going to assume that there's Texas flood kind of drove it over. The body was like half buried when he sees it. And we got the rest of the story about that this week. David Ayer, I think his name is, or Wes Ayer, the name of the guy. Ayers is his last name. Wes Ayers. Because his wife's girlfriend who has the baby with him is Whitney Ayers. We find out the reason she always looks spun up in like a mess was because he was a meth dealer or something. Rob Will, Beulah's son, and we're starting to think that the father of Rob Will might just be, our friend Everett, might be Ed Harris. So Beulah and Ed Harris, they hook up. They're like just outright a couple. Things been going on with Beulah and Everett for a while. And they found a way to film her. Like, she doesn't always look just like Elizabeth Warren anymore. And it's just more flattering than she's looked at other roles. In a movie that I already brought up once, Captain Marvel, she looks terrible. The outfit's terrible. She looks terrible. They're accentuating all her worst features. It took a while to get past the things that they really drew your attention to because, like, there are a couple of things about now, like 70-year-old, Annette Bening that, are old and imperfect from the woman who was going to be Catwoman. All right, no one's mad at her for that, and no one thinks it's a big deal. But after it was accentuated and thrown in your face by the people who are at Disney with the MCU, where they made her look so bad that, she looks a lot better. And this is something that Taylor Sheridan has consistently done. Now, by the way, I've been informed that this is a right-wing show because it's right-coded, because we'll address the way the female stars look. We pay money to see these people, and their appearance is part of any film analysis. I don't know how that makes it right or left, but enjoy your apparently right-coded film analysis where I'm willing to talk about the women's figures. Michelle Pfeiffer in another Taylor Sheridan show looks pretty good. She looks nice. She looks beautiful for 65. She looks kind of dateable still. I'm a good deal younger than her. I'm closer in age to Johnny Knoxville, who we'll talk about. I wanted to add him. I forgot. I should have really added him to the poll. It would have been nice to see like a Johnny Knoxville poll where we just talked about him. Johnny Knoxville, interesting, weird freaking life. Like, apparently Jessica Simpson threw herself at him, and so they had an affair during Dukes of Hazzard. And that's what broke up her and whoever that boyfriend of hers was. Hey, Citrus, what's going on, Lemon Pie? It's good to see Lemon Pie Citrus. Hell to you. It's good to see you. Guys, tell people I'm out. I'm going to hang out for a little while. I'll be here for a while longer. I ain't going anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Listen, I feel bad streaming against Doomcock, but you know what? We're talking 3,500 subs against 350,000. We're talking about maybe an hour or two of content versus like 5, 6. I apologize, but like there was nothing I could do this week. Do you really think I had it in me to go on last night? I'm not trying to say that this has anything, big to do with me. It's got more to do with other people, but it was a bummer the way Tuesday's show ended. I have not been overly in touch with my friends since then. I have almost as many questions as you have, and I don't want to really dwell on it too much. If you were here, you know what happened. But you know what? That's what it is. Let's talk continue with Dutton Ranch, and, I'll try to stay on track with this one. We had a story that proceeded along with a pretty good high point. We finally get someone getting killed. I won't tell you who it is. Well, you know what? Actually, someone got killed last week. So Chet got killed last week. Chet took the place of Wes Ayer as number one cowboy foreman at the Jackson Ranch. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is the Jackson Ranch. The other one was the Edwards Ranch. So the Jackson Ranch, and it's also known as 10 Pedals. He gets killed because he's like dealing meth, apparently, to Rob Will and Chet. Wes Ayers is the original meth dealer, and they're still doing it. Maybe it's cocaine. We can't tell. It's a white, powdery substance that they're doing, and we see them doing it. We see them snorting it, and they're all tweaking when they do it. It could be either one. It's not that important to the overall arc of the show. We just know that it makes them pretty mean, and you don't want to be around either of them when they're on it. So the show started out with us showing us the Jacksons for a while. So Rob Will is all spun up and wacky, and he sort of just in a bad moment just turns around and blasts Wes Ayers and just stomps off. And a couple of people know about it, and they're trying to calm him down, so they send him off to rehab, and like no one seems to do anything with Ayers' body, so it washes over onto the land of the Dutton Ranch. It's found by Rip, who we see here. This is when, like, the first thing we see from him after he finds the body is he goes back to the house and he has some coffee. It's real weird. I don't know how else to explain it. It's real weird. So he's all chipper. He's like, "Hi, honey. How you doing?" And it's like great. It's great drama. And she's being like all normal. "Hey, Lombardi, greetings. Good to see you. Welcome to the show." People are starting to show up. It would be great if we get the concurrence up a little bit. But let's face it, there's a lot going on. It is Friday. Admiral Teag chose to go up against the toughest competition. So your views are appreciated, and you guys are pretty sticky. You're keeping me alive. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for being with me through this tough couple of months. The next half of June, still going to be chaotic. A lot of stuff going on. There was things going on health-wise. There was things going on work-wise. Nothing major, but, I can't betray my schedule too much ahead of time because I can't forecast it too much ahead of time. I'll either be on or I won't for a while longer. That's going to be the way it's going to be probably for the rest of the summer. I'll either be on or I won't. Tuesdays and Thursdays preferred. Friday, the most preferred makeup day. I'm going to try to stay away from Mondays, Wednesdays. Sundays, I think I'm just going to start doing a Yellowstone show with Germ and uploading it as best we can. I'll improve it during the week by having it cut down to uploadable length, but there was a nice pace of development. The rivalry between Joaquin, Beth, and Rip is kind of in a weird place. Right now, they're sort of in a frenemy place for me to describe it. Chet shows up. He is not taking getting fired well, and he does not like Joaquin. Joaquin shows up to get his car, and we've seen Chet jump him here before. Joaquin's routine is sort of known. We've seen him get jumped like 2-3 times already, and we're only up to episode 7. So going to his car, Chet's there. He's got the gun out. He's all gangsta about it. He's holding it sideways. He's like, "Yo, man, I don't know about you, cuz, like, it ain't cool what you did. Like, I was supposed to be top dog. I did everything for this family." And Joaquin's like, "You're still family. It's cool. You're still family. We're going to take care of you." And, like, it seems like maybe he's going to make him an offer. The last time he saw him, he gave him a whole bunch of money. Now he's, like, offering to take care of him again. There's reason to believe that if you negotiate, you might be able to get out of there okay. So you could see, like, maybe, like, Joaquin prefers the less violent path. And he's been compared to Jamie a couple of times, but so far he hasn't shown anything as far as, like, anything but loyalty to 10 Pedals. The one thing we've seen is it's kind of tough for Beulah and him because Beulah will just, like, yell at him and put him down a little bit, even though he's also, I believe, a lawyer. He's not a natural cowboy. I guess he was smarter. I guess he didn't do a lot of cowboy work. We're getting a lot of him trying to break into the cowboy role. He gets himself a proper cowboy hat. They get it fitted to him. We see him trying it on this week. He's going to try to do business a little more cowboy-like. And this week, after he sees Chet, Chet's like, F you. You're a piece of shit. You shouldn't have fired me. And he's like, come on, buddy. We're still friends, man. And the gun goes off, and you hear Joaquin scream. And we're seeing Chet. And at that moment, we see a bullet impact Chet's skull. And right after we hear Joaquin scream, "You shot me." So Chet goes down. Down goes Chet. Down goes Chet. Like a tree struck by lightning. And Joaquin's got, we see him and he's holding his hand. So we know he's going to be all right. And Rip now shows up. He works there anyway. He's the best person you could have. Joaquin's in pain. He's showing pain. I think the actor's doing a good job. He's not letting you forget he's in pain, so you're reminded of it. Nothing hurts like your hand. A couple of weeks ago, I got my finger slammed in my own apartment door. And let me tell you, it didn't hurt too much, but it hurts in freaky weird ways. I almost popped the metacarpal at the tip of of this finger, right? It's fine, but it hurts in a weird way. It still needs to fully strengthen. It's not messed up, but every once in a while, I don't know. Hopefully it'll go back to being normal. It got me across the nail. The nail didn't break off, but so it got him in the hand. And he keeps you cognizant of the pain that a hand feels without derailing the show or ruining the narrative. I thought the actor had a really good method, or the director and him worked together well, or obviously it's both, right? The actor's grunting and grumbling, but not a lot. He's breathing heavy, but it's more sucking in a breath here and there, and he's struggling to contain the pain the way you see a baseball player hit by a pitch. It's obvious he's in a high degree of pain. It's really bothering him, but he's going to try and be tough. He's been called out as not tough enough a bunch of times. They've been said, that he's not a cowboy. He's not that badass, and, he's trying to prove that he is. He's made steps towards getting a cowboy hat, and now he's taking a gunshot wound like a pretty good badass. Joaquin he's not crying and whimpering. He's not demanding painkillers. We see him taking the pain like a man. And again, nothing hurts like your hand. So Rip is all right, let's get you fixed up. And he's I ain't going to no hospital. So even though he's in pain, he's got principles. He knows gunshot wounds come with all sorts of complications. And Rip's already got it figured out. It's I ain't taking him to no hospital, don't worry. He brings him to Everett. Everett's an animal veterinarian, specific to animals. I didn't put this in the first Yellowstone video essay because I didn't know what the limits were. On a live stream, you can say foot and mouth disease and have no problems. I had to wait for other people to upload first and use the term in uploads before I knew it wouldn't bring in medical implications, and it still does. You got to be a little careful whenever you go medical on YouTube in any way, shape, or form. And you can get there by mistake, too. There's people having casual conversations talking about having a cold, and even people talking about things as simple as the adventures of their comic book characters who drift into these problems. So, YouTube, a weird thing, just staying out of trouble, a real skill. So, Rip and Beth, they're weak. Beth has made a distribution deal that seems to have been a dead end because that herd is now gone. In episode 1 and 2, they set up the chain of events that lead to the things in episodes 3 and 4 where things develop rather naturally. They get burned out of Montana. They show up in Texas where there's a deal for them. There's a ranch. They heard the 4-6s guy says it's a pretty good ranch. They take it over. The people who run it then before them are nice. They give them some good advice, and they give them some good cattle. They go get a new stud bull. He's the best. He's got the best paperwork. Everything is great. He's AKC certified or whatever it means in the Texas terms, right? So that's awesome. They got a new stud bull. We move forward another week. We meet some more characters. We don't do exposition dumps, but we learn about people in ways that are organic, yet still do the job. There is maybe only one dump, but it's done in a beautiful scene of a campfire where we hear the story of Zachariah's past. Zachariah becoming more and more solid, sort of becoming a Sam Elliott-like presence on this show. Sam Elliott can't be replicated. So we have like a 60-ish year old version of Sam Elliott. He was walking out of jail when Rip found him. So Rip Wheeler still has a streak in him where, and I guess he picked it up from John Dutton. Germ feels that John Dutton looked out for the Yellowstone guys, and Rip Wheeler is going to look out for the guys at the Dutton Ranch the same way. So we'll find out. He was ready to let Zachariah meet his fate when an old lady came and pulled a gun on him and accused him of killing her daughter. And he's like, tell me what happened. And then he's like, this ain't going to make you feel no better. He did his time. Maybe just let it go. And the old lady breaks down and listens to Rip because he's so real. The first line he says is, listen, someone did that to someone I loved, I'd feel the same way you do right now. And she'd like, you would? And you're like, I would. And it's like he's so real. Cole Hauser is a gift. He's Wings Hauser's son. Who would have thought? Wings Hauser did a lot of good work, and he's a good actor. But Cole Hauser is so good in this character of Rip Wheeler. When you see him out of character, it's disconcerting. And there's all sorts of weird, undisprovable stories about him and how him and Kelly Riley have this like special like working relationship where they don't physically touch each other unless they're in character, which is crazy because you see him on the red carpet and he puts his arm around her, but like, yeah, I don't. It's just there's so much nonsense out there these days. Keep your bullshit detector set to 10. Beth has a distribution deal for the beef. She manages to flip that to Beulah. So we're seeing the Yellowstone chain of events happen. Beulah and Beth had a conversation this week about what the hell happened in Montana. And Jamie came up. So Yellowstone Marshall's not dealing with Jamie at all. When I checked it on Yellowstone Marshals, it was a crime procedural going forward like FBI or CIA. It wasn't badly done. It was competent. It was watchable. But it wasn't Yellowstoning things too much. No one had been around to fill me in or say it was fantabulous, so they need to catch up on it. I will do more due diligence checking on Yellowstone Marshals, but they dropped the Yellowstone. It's just called Marshals. And guys, the 2 L's is a department store. It's Marshalls with 1 L. The number one search term on this channel was Yellowstone Marshals with 2 L's for a while. I regret putting that up because people just did not realize it was a review of several shows. Yellowstone Marshals, I retitled that one to get it to a more normal view count. And that's what we're getting here now is a show like this will probably still do the same as it always did, although shorter, so adjust for length. We're still going to get the same kind of view counts we did, and it'll still rise accordingly. But you're going to see with the shorter shows, things will be a little different. Saving our bullets for Saturday, where we can have a longer discussion. And we have new Trek coming. It's coming soon. I got to see when Strange New Worlds is coming. Let's take a look at this one. Osiris and Madams. Strange New Worlds. Oh, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. There it is. All right. They reused the same poster as last time, by the way. It was just the same poster. They also had a slightly newer one that was, I guess, kind of okay. I don't know what to tell you about it. It wasn't great. I didn't love it. And that's just Strange New Worlds for you. So let's see if I can find out the next date. All right. Strange New Worlds. July 23rd. So there's still some time. Thank God. Here's our schedule. Saturday nights, Star Trek. Enterprise is over. Everything's been said about TOS. We're fairly sure we can bring you a show that's about 3 hours for a few straight weeks. The strategy behind this is twofold. One, we'll have a higher analytic. We need you guys to hold in there and watch so that, two, when we get to Strange New Worlds, we can play it fast and loose. We're trying to earn this one. We're playing by the rules, and we're going to stay monetized. That's the goal. Now, if something happens, something happens. You know what? I talked to the J-Man. He was demonetized and had to get remonetized like twice. He had to go back, and he succeeded both times. What did the J-Man do? Stayed calm. He didn't go after the platform. He didn't complain. He was like probably luckier than people who would be, say, a professional YouTuber, someone who really depends on it. I kind of have started to depend on this. I put my effort in, and I have come to factor in some YouTube into my monthly income because I put a lot into it. There's software. I just repurchased the editing software. The license pricing doubled year to year. Jesus. Wow. I'm going to make some video essays soon just because I have to. I need to make, based on what they're making back, I need to call Albert Einstein to figure this one out, but I think I need to make 25 video essays that do 1,000 views. So one every other week all year to claw back what I had to put in for this year's license. So the license for the video editing is always a loser. The video editing enhances the experience, though. We have some fun video edited stuff that we used all throughout our Mirror Universe stuff. Like Mirror Universe Trump. Mirror Universe Trump was not political. It was fun. It was funny. Look, sometimes when the president says things, it's just funny. He's from the same part of Queens as I am. He has a similar delivery to so many people I know. I find it hilarious because I've known people who act and talk just like him all of my life who say dogs. I know people who, just like Archie Bunker, call the toilet the turlet. I mean, I know people like that. I've known them. I've been in their homes. I've used their turlets. So here we go. Mirror Trump. I mean, this kind of stuff is for fun.
A terror who doesn't know the rules.
Sir, we have to take orders.
Well, we'll see to it that he learns them. What's your designation?
Sir, could you give us a name?
Bashir, Julian.
Sir, my name is Razor. Sir!
Is that a joke?
Sir, would you please sign this order?
No jokes.
Sir!
Sir! Sir! Let's put Oriana in there. We're going to talk about Oriana next. This is Carter's girlfriend. Whoa. Whoa. Things aren't quite there yet. We don't know what's going on. Stuff's happened. They've gone all the way there. He's been in a tunnel of love. There's something going on. Her old boyfriend's out of the picture. She's unattached as of right now. And Carter's making a strong play. But he seems to be, like, he loves Beth and Rip, it seems. But, like, he seems like to feel this strong need for independence, which matches up with what he's always been like. Sir! Wes Kegel. Sir! Sir! Guys, there's a new emoji there for those of you who have the channel emojis and are members. And that emoji, oh, sirs and madams, that emoji is none other than, I think you will enjoy it. There it is. It's Terra Prime. We had it for the end of Enterprise. We'll keep it for this week. And you know what? Wes Kegel, we found out his microphone not being recognized. His computer is not respecting the pronouns of Wes Kegel's microphone. Wes Kegel, yes, post that Terra Prime flag. And you know what? We see the Hoshis. And you know what? Like, let's have the most used emoji that isn't a channel emoji here on Admiral Teag's channel. Does this keep us safe? Does this keep us out of trouble? Is this why we're still in one piece? I don't know. I think a lot of the reason we're in one piece is because this channel uses a lot of emojis. I think another reason this channel is still in one piece is because I'm a stickler for compliances, sir and madams. Sirs and madams, Jerm and I have joked around, and he's told you a bunch of times about how I'm always reading the terms of service. But I guess one thing I should do is I should say that some of the problems this channel had, and who knows who did it, but some of the problems this channel had where we're being attacked in different ways. You know what? Who cares? Really? Everybody does it. I watched the Critical Drinker and I observed. Critical Drinker has a method of OPSEC, And what was going on was there were some problems that were beyond the pale. Whatever. Who cares? It comes with the territory. When you want to play baseball, you're going to get hit by a few pitches. So, confusing couple of months just navigating everything in terms of service changes, the usual problems going on. That's right, Wes Cagle. I think it's unfair that our emojis don't work, but this one does. I understand why very easily, but come on. Yeah, everybody's loving it. You know what? What did everybody say? Stop sitting on your microphone. I know you're getting torpedo-shaped one would be a problem. You know what? Does it sound like I'm underwater? Is that what's going on? Oh, you. Okay. Not me. All right. Yeah, you know what? Like the Blue Yeti was a much more satisfying microphone for sitting on. It was shaped. It was big and black and invasive and It is Juneteenth, guys. Juneteenth. Let's talk about it. Oh my God, it's so important. I've got to add it to our trigger words. I mean, our. You know what? Let's face it. They are our trigger words. We're gonna add it as I go to the editing bay of my own show in mid-show to talk about it, but you know what? Like, we're going to get back to... Let me put this in there. Hold on. We're going to put the right... All right. So, I don't know, but right now I just updated our hashtags to include... I think we should have it. Juneteenth. Let's see. Did I do it the right way? Yes, it's there. All right, so don't hit refresh. Just keep watching. The people later on will see it. But, I figure if I edit while I'm still alive, since the discussion's drifted there, you know what? Juneteenth it is. Trek reviewer, are you celebrating Juneteenth, buddy? West? Any of us? Anybody out there? What are you guys going to do for Juneteenth? I want to talk about this holiday for a minute. You know what? Let's leave Oriana up there because she looks great. But let's take down the comment so that she looks better. You know what, sirs and madams? There's a Juneteenth story that doesn't get told much, and that's this one. The membership story that doesn't get told is this. Sorry, the membership story that doesn't get told. Sorry. Here we go. Here's some memberships. That's why I mentioned them. From me to you. Who's getting them? Let's see. Marcelo Lopez Jr., welcome to the family. Noel Merck, 2267. Hello, sir. 2267. A good year, my friend. It's good to see you. Tell us how to pronounce it. D-Bud, hello. He's got a membership again. D-Bud Martin has a membership. Go Nightboat. Go Nightboat received a membership. Nightboat. Michael, there's an inlet. And Beef Shursky. Hello, Shursky. It's great to see you. Beefy. It's good to see you. Guys, use the emojis. Good to see you. Welcome. I have just initiated you into the show. And you now have the ranks and privileges thereof for the next 28 days. And what does that include? That means you have the right to use the emojis. You have the right to please, already, vote in polls. Use your right to vote. You're a sacred franchise. Many Bothans died to get us the right to vote on the YouTube polls. I remember when we couldn't. And you know what? Enjoy those memberships. I hope you guys have fun with them. And use the emojis. You know what? And use that American flag emoji. Wes Cagle harvests it from... what do? You cut and paste it from over on X? Is that where you get it? Because YouTube won't give it to you. All right. So, Oriana looks great, by the way. And... this chick and Carter are getting closer together. They're obviously the B plot. The pace is a little slower for them, and we'll see what happens. Right now, it's a fun relationship. I celebrate Juneteenth. I dress up like a ghost for it every year. No! Don't. Sir, that might be dangerous. It's like Halloween in June. Oops, did I say that out loud? You shite. I guess I'm on another government list now. Yeah, and so am I. All right, yeah, don't do that. We don't encourage that. Juneteenth, however, there were a set of heroes. There are ghosts now in the sense that no one could live as long as to still be alive when they were alive, even with natural causes and advancements in medicine. They would be like 200 years old. I'm talking, of course, of the Civil War veterans. Who are the heroes of Juneteenth? Well, there are villains. Those would be the people who refused to give up the, let's just say the people who had jobs for life, who were on the plantations of the deep south of Texas. But let's remember, the Civil War is considered to have ended in April when most major fighting started. No one wants to die in the last battle of the war. The Union Army fought hard against resistance until the end of June, till today, because there were people down south who wouldn't give up their free stuff. Look, some people did fight for states' rights. I'm going to say the people that had to be who had to be, taught a lesson about who's in charge of who on Juneteenth, they probably weren't in the whole fight for, states' rights. I'm going to say those people probably wanted the free stuff, all right? There were some bad people on the bad guy side that lost, right? Okay, we won for a reason because we were right, and we united the country. So let's talk about the Union Army for a minute. On Juneteenth, was there a Teag there? Well, his name would have been Lochran, the first Irish Americans to come from, my lineage came from Belfast, and their names were Lochran. But there were 3 or 4 different Teag ancestors, because remember, the Lochrans and the Irish ones, they come to New York around then, and they marry in. But the people they married may have already been Irish. We don't freaking know, because they married people who had been here. So I'm like a 7th or 8th generation New Yorker, at the very least, documented from the Lochran guy. Him and some of his German, co-great-grandfathers, these guys ever even meet? They're my great-great-great-grandfathers. Did they ever even fucking meet? All right, so, I guess 2 of them met if they lived long enough. Obviously, they all survived the Civil War to have fucking children. So, don't mess with me. I'm a survivor. But our Civil War, the Union Army fights until April 16th at Appomattox Courthouse. I believe I have that about right. May 16th, June 16th, Juneteenth is the 19th. So that is half of April, all of May, half of June, 8 bloody weeks of fighting. An army that would set other men free. The true heroes of Juneteenth. And let's face it, the people who were liberated, they didn't do anything heroic. They were oppressed. And what happened to them was real sad. But the heroes who came in there, literally charging on white horses, some of them, who liberated them from their state that they were in so that they could have a better life, who fought for the benefit of setting other men free. See the movie Gettysburg. We are an army that will set other men free. Yeah, maybe a lot of people did fight over states' rights, but the Union soldiers believed they were fighting for a different reason. There are different beliefs for everybody in that war, probably, or at least a broad spectrum of them, right? They fought their way down south, and they liberate every last one of those people suffering on Juneteenth. And they end America's peculiar institution. I think that that's something that all the vanilla fellas, like myself, should be happy about. And by the way, photography brings this out. AI will probably confirm it. Admiral Teag has olive skin. You can't tell because I'm so fair-skinned even with that. But it's like when you take a picture of like sneakers and they look different than they do in the real world, especially if you put the flash on. Like the digital camera, like I didn't even know I had olive skin until the digital camera analyzed it. Could it be a fluke? Could it be wrong? Probably not. I'm Hispanic, right? I think the only reason my skin is lighter is because my dad did so much Agent Orange in Vietnam, right? I mean, he wasn't looking to do it. It sort of did him, but I mean, unfortunately, he had no choice. All right, so Wes Cagle celebrates Juneteenth in a way that this channel does not recommend. Cut and pasted from X for the American flag. I hope everyone knows that. What about that you're joking, or that to cut and paste the American flag? Cut and paste the American flag from X. Okay? Also, wow, Anson Mount looks like a crazy hippie. Holy shit. Look at Anson Mount in this picture. Anson Mount looks like he's got like a crazy beard going. This isn't the best bearded picture of him. He cleans right up, but wow, Anson Mount looks like being on Star Trek has really taken a toll on him. Let me show you the picture, sirs and madams. Sorry to take Oriana off your screen, and to fill the screen with me is even worse, but oh boy, wow. Anson. Anson, put the pipe down. I'm just kidding. He looks pretty well groomed. But like looking a little like wild-eyed as far as like I've had it. The haircut of frustration. Is it for a role? Has he gone back to cowboy stuff? I hope so. Anson Mount isn't a bad actor. He's just in a lot of bad stuff, especially this Star Trek stuff. Oh, Anson. Let's put Oriana back on screen. Admiral Teag, sir. I know that the sir was implied and you meant to say it. You know what Patton said? The only real death for a soldier is from the last bullet in the last battle of the last war. Well, yes, I plan to be disintegrated by the last phaser blast of the last battle of the last war as a Federation officer at some point in the distant future, or perhaps I'll be a Klingon. But every time I watch Patton, I have another revelation. And Wes, maybe you can update the drivers on your computer and get the mic to recognize, because maybe you'll want to be part of this. July 4th, we're going to do the cage, and then July 4th. Here's the deal. This weekend, the weekend of June 21st, one Admiral's birthday. Admiral turns 39. Admiral's birthday this weekend. 2, Star Trek. We'll talk about the final episode of Enterprise, and we'll talk about retrospective. Season 3 and 4 is the retrospective. They're both on the table. We're going to talk about both of them. We're going to talk about them a lot, and we're going to talk about them in depth. It will be about 2.5 hours. It's going to be maybe 3. Who knows? These things have a way of creeping longer. One of the reasons to keep this show to a reasonable length, if I do, is that we save our bullets for the Star Trek show. The flagship show is the most important show. I appreciate that this show does so well and gets so much loyalty. This show got so many reviews on an episode where I was not myself for most of the episode, and I am still worried about my pal. You know what? Best wishes, Germ, if you're out there listening, say hi. You know what? He did say hi to me, so I know, he's out there, but I don't know much more than that. He had to go. We'll know more about it when we know more about it, or we won't, okay? I know the deal. Germ, it's up to him whether he wants to tell people. You know what? And whoa, hey, Radioactive Actual showing up. Sir, does WK mean the last phaser of the last space battle of the last face war? Doesn't WK. Radioactive. Sir. You know what? It's good to see you. I'm going to send you a pass. I'm going to use that by giving myself a pass by using my other account. It's going to take me a minute because, you know what, like, it's difficult on the old brain to do it. And you can jump in here and say hi. And you know what? It's good to see you. Radioactive. Sean's going to recommend him to DC for the debunker. How's that role going to be for if Piercing the Veil ever comes back? Radio, I just sent you a pass if you want to jump on and say hi. You know what? Doesn't WK mean the last phaser of the last battle of the last war? You know what? Wrath of Khan? I don't know. You know what? I would think the last disruptor, right? Because I'll be on the side of the Federation. Unless, like, we go out fighting the Maquis, all I know is, you know what? I am the reincarnation of George S. Patton, and my reincarnation will be James Tiberius Kirk. It's one continuous, unbroken line, same character. In this life, I'm going to fight to restore Star Trek. And you know what? You don't save your franchise by dying for your franchise. You do it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his franchise. And my God, has Jon Favreau died 1,000 deaths of a coward. Let's talk for a moment about Jon Favreau. I don't want to hear any more people saying they trust Jon Favreau with a story. This rant brought to you by Radioactive. Look, I realize that a lot of people are going to make some serious excuses, and some of them do hold water. Some of them actually do, okay? But let's look at his original work in the Iron Man series. He was already showing that he wasn't a good creator. His best movie, as far as profitability, is the Jungle Book remake live action. He was the first one to invent this insidious formula for Disney. No one's done it quite as good yet since, and no one wants to see it that way again, like with any more of these movies. Now they're cranking them out in a low-effort way. If they had done a one-off and they had saved it and done it every 10 years for one movie here and there, maybe it has novelty, maybe it seems special. Like they tend to do, Hollywood and Disney overused the hell out of this idea, and it just didn't work. After they went to The Little Mermaid, that one, the star showed that you can survive the movie. That star, the controversy started and it never built. Excuse me while I take a sip of my Gatorade. So while the controversy built, Halle Bailey didn't do anything insane. When people said feministic provocations to her, she was like, huh? I'm so happy to be in the movie. And they had nothing to work with. As Rachel Ziegler was asked questions like, pass the salt, would you please pass the salt? She would blow up and start yelling about oppression or the central non-West and making a big deal and embarrassing herself. Halle Bailey proved that if you're just nice, and she was pretty nice most of the time, there's no nightmare interview. I should take back the most of the time. I've never seen Halle Bailey be anything but nice. People made some comments, her eyes were too far apart. You know what? That's aesthetics. I thought she was pretty enough. The stuff with her and the weight-resistant gear to make it look like she was swimming, it was only just so interesting. It wasn't fun. I felt bad for the poor woman. She was a pretty good voice match to the original Little Mermaid, which I know means a lot to a lot of people. And with that one, it was a Norwegian fairy tale, and people were outraged. She just barely addressed it, obliquely at best. I guess she's not from New Jersey. It was the total opposite of what happened. You could have had twin burning pyres of garbage from the Snow White and the Little Mermaid happening at the same time. Instead, Halle Bailey, that movie will eventually make some money on video, and on Disney Plus, people will put it on for their kids to watch because it doesn't have a horrible, toxic reputation. Might there be wokeism in it? There may well be. I'm not going to watch it to find out. Krimlon's not going to give me, a double dare to go see, to go review that one, unless he does. Don't give Krimlon any ideas. What is West? But he says, looks like Anson Mount is in 4 episodes of the TV series Scarpetta on Amazon Prime. Is that a cop show or a cowboy show? And thank you, buddy, for thanking Radioactive. And Radioactive, if you want to beam in, I'm going to be here for about a little while longer. You know what? We're going to keep this one under 2 hours, but you know what? Feeling strong. Yeah. You know what? Just got the energy. Sometimes you just feel it. I haven't been on enough. I want to be on more next week. Tuesday night seems like a done deal. We'll see what happens on Thursday. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of you. And, for all these impromptu shows, it has kept the channel going and kept interest up. We have still been quietly, building the sub count pretty good. The real sub count still pretty good. Everything going as well as could be expected. I'm pretty happy. You know what? The next video essay, I don't know whether it's going to be Order 66 or another Dutton Ranch. Dutton Ranch getting close to the end might be a Dutton Ranch finale predictions might be the way to go. And whoa, Sean Carter, sir. You know what, sir? For that, before I acknowledge it and read it, I think that you have absolutely earned your favorite piece of media. I know that you find this one interesting. Let's play the Sir remix, and you know what? We might even play Steam.
Sir, Steam is better. Sir, honestly, the dogs are better. Sir, I have the man. Sir, my name is Raisin. $1 billion, sir. $1.1 billion, sir. Sir, he has a cold. Don't shake his head. Sir.
A terror who doesn't know the rules.
Sir, we have to take orders.
Well, we'll see to it that he learns them. What's your designation?
Sir, we've decided not to move the United States. Okay. Sir, we land on the moon to go to Mars, and that's what we're doing with the moon.
Sir, we don't want money.
Sir, we're looking for land. Sir, Steam is better.
Sean, thank you very much, sir. All right, with a very generous $20 super chat, Sean Carter joins the Q Continuum and says, "Hell, Admiral, sir." I won't make you guys type sir. You pay by the character in super chats. I will add the sir for you because I know you all mean it in your hearts. Hell, Admiral, sir. Just popped on and rewound the show and listened to your take on Stop That Train. I recommend everyone checks it out. New York movie that can have a Raggedy Ann. Oh, wait. Check it out. Any movie that can have a Raggedy Ann doll doing 5 lines of blow at a disco party can't be bad. That does sound... Look, I tried to unpack for people in a serious way, in a non-comedic matter, that when I used to run into RuPaul, it was because I knew her producer. Did RuPaul and I partake in what Raggedy Ann did? I won't talk about that, but RuPaul, a fun person who identifies as a man until they become the character, then the character stays in character. It's more method acting. It's not really annoying, and you don't think of them as the same person. The person, like the RuPaul, like individual who writes and is RuPaul, the man, Paul, who is RuPaul, rather sedate and calm, soft-spoken, and thoughtful, writing those jokes. Can crack wicked humor, can crack wise, don't get me wrong, very witty, but like when you meet this person, you can tell they're thinking. And they're average looking, and they dress like a normal person, and they don't live their life as a woman. They put on this drag outfit, and they go and they make money. And I've literally heard them say, time to go make some people laugh and make some money. RuPaul goes back to the Gong Show. So the idea that this movie could be funny with Sean, if you're able to respond, does it touch but not grasp? It touches with its fingers, and it moments for a moment here and there grasps the airplane type and the police squad type humor, giving you an outlet for that. And is it funny enough that there might be a Stop That Train 2? And, like, who knows? I would just say it looked funny. We showed the poster. The poster was funny. 90 minutes, very self-aware. The Hairspray remake guy did it. There'll probably be some choreographed dancing because he does choreographed dancing. When gay people come out and they're not like activists, which these people really decidedly aren't, they are entertainers. These people came to fucking entertain. And there's a mix of gay and straight talent. There was no DEI on this. There was nothing like that. They just went out there. They woke up gay, right? So they went to make their fucking movie, and they were already there. So, like, for them, DEI was, like, hiring the straight people, and, like, they willfully did it. Like, I don't know what Joe McHale's deal is. I think he's married with kids. I kind of don't think he's gay, but, like, he's in this movie, and, like, the outtake I saw with him was pretty funny. He seems like a perfect person for the faux hero of a movie like that. He's got the delivery and ridiculousness skills, and he made one of the funniest football jokes I ever heard. Andrew Luck looks like a homeless man who robs gas stations. It's still funny because it's so true. If you know who Andrew Luck is, you'll understand that joke. But wow, what a generous super chat from Sean. And I want to thank you. And you know what? As I look, the long range space sonar. It's photonic sonar, damn it. We are Trek Guardians. We're the Trek Guardians. What's the Trek Guardians song? It's been a long road getting from there to here. Is that the national anthem of the United Federation of Planets, since it's the only lyric Star Trek song? And is the only true theme song for the Next Generation First Contact? I think it might be. It's their most beautiful song. Star Trek First Contact is the only Star Trek song from the Next Generation that inspires me. They borrowed their theme song from Star Trek The Motion Picture. But as the photonic sonar goes off, we can see that off in the distance there's something approaching. Let's hear it.
Admiral Teag, incoming super chat.
I want to thank my friend Welshie for a show that started off with me thinking of just hitting the end button because it was 7 minutes long and it was just a repeat of Sir, Steam's better. Sir, Steam's better. Sir, Steam's... Oh, no, sorry, it was, Sir, you can't say that. It's too controversial. Sir, you can't say that. It's too... Well, I got locked out of the controls and had to bail and come back. This hasn't been a bad session to hang out. You guys are the fucking best. I do love you. Let's face it. It's a fun community, and you know what? We bring our opinion to the world when I make a video essay. I might even make a Star Trek one this week. You know what? Admiral, sir, says my good friend RRTNZ, who has compared me to the Bard of the Avon on psilocybin, says, Admiral, sir, I took the drinker's recommendation and watched Duranger last night, and it was great. It was great. I found your Bollywood doppelganger, Akshay Khanna. Yeah? Akshay Khanna. So there's a really handsome Bollywood guy named Akshay Khanna. Let's see what he looks like. If you spelled it right. Isn't it great? I wish we had Trump saying that name. I hope he goes to the White House to meet the president. I want to hear Trump say Akshay Khanna. The great actor. Akshay Khanna. I've got better hair. He's going with a tight crew cut. I've got different hair. That's the way I should put it. I'll let you guys see. This, I guess, is Bollywood Teag. I'll let you decide for yourself. Let's see. Can I share this instead? I have to remove her. Akshay, where are you? There he is. Okay, I'm sorry I have to remove Oriana to do this, guys. Let me hide behind the... if I look, I can show my face without showing my face. Thank you so much. Hey, Krimlon! Krimlon is here. All right, let me share the screen. Check this out, guys. So here's Akshay Khanna. I think I'm saying his name right. Thank you, RRT. And so let's take a look at him. This handsome gentleman that you have so compared me to. Yeah, that's not a crazy thing to say. Let's see. What's his expression? Neutral. Got a more Brit Welshy kind of nose, maybe Dutch. I don't know. We have a different nose, but yeah, he looks a little like me. I wouldn't wear that sweater. I would wear that sweater if it had slightly different colors, though. I do like the pattern. You know what? I like Miami Vice. Maybe I would wear that sweater. You know what? It seems all right. All right, so I have a Bollywood double. Hey, did you see tonight's thumbnail? Let's add her to the stage. Oh God, she looks like Bride of Chucky there, doesn't she? God, this movie, she has been well set up to take the fall. Let's see if Sean gives us any feedback. Oh yeah, the whole thing is in the spirit of Airplane, and there are no politics. This movie won't be dated at all. When I saw RuPaul as president and she wasn't doing, I knew that RuPaul would never take that role if it was a Trump-bashing role, because RuPaul has managed her image perfectly. RuPaul, who goes back to the mid-'80s Gong Show, has 35 years as a professional entertainer. This would never happen, but she has a reputation solid enough that she could possibly be the person who sings at halftime at the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. There's no crossover between her and football, although I think she's done NFL stuff. I'm not kidding. RuPaul is solid enough and has been reliable enough with no scandals. And let's remember, RuPaul, gay entertainer, not trans at all, does not identify as trans, doesn't use pronouns. Her pronouns don't float around. She's Paul when she's a dude. She's RuPaul when she's female. My experience was you called Paul and used he, and when you talk to RuPaul, use she. Like I said, didn't spend hours and hours hanging out with this person. There were other celebrities that I knew better, but I'm not going to out any of their private stuff, too badly. Hey, good night, John the Beagle Dad. It was great having you hang out. It's ironic. The movie was made by a group of many people many would assume would be 100% woke for 90 minutes, but there wasn't even a second of it. That's because Andy Shankman is a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful he could manipulate the midichlorians to create laughter. There are those who say he had such a command of the gay side, he didn't even have to be woke. Yeah, the actual gay people don't need our fucking help or our pity or our sympathy. They go out there and they put on their own movie, and it's funnier than anything that, some bunch of Disney activists with their sympathy garbage could ever do. Crimlon! Hail all, says Crimlon. Good night, John the Beagle Dad, says Sean. And Wes Cagle says, the Trek native Terrans, not the Trek Guardians. You know what? What was going on with Avery Brooks that he called them the Tirans? They allowed that, and it spread throughout that show. A lot of people called them the Tirans. Was that supposed to be a way of saying maybe it was a slightly different dimension of the mirror universe? They were trying to backpedal out of what Kira said, and the fact that the whole mirror universe knows about the prime universe, but the prime universe is almost completely ignorant of the mirror universe till it's not. Deep Space Nine's biggest sin was the walking back and forth between the universes. They're not the ones who weaponized Section 31. We saw at the final organic episode of Enterprise, which was a great Star Trek episode that we all loved. I loved the episode of Star Trek that we ended with. I thought that Terra Prime was a final episode that should have been respected, and I was very sad that we have to deal with this other episode. The only good news is Jonathan Frakes to the rescue worked out in the way we didn't expect. The show didn't end up becoming anything but an enjoyable way to, end the series with low stakes. You can just sort of ignore that one because it all happened on the holodeck. Love Island, USA? Is this Jessica Biel? This looks like one weird show. Wow. Let me show you this one. You look at IMDb and you see some strange stuff, guys. This just sort of came up on my IMDb screen. Love, is that... I can't tell who it is. She could definitely come over, though. A real-time dating competition featuring a group of sexy singles living in a tropical villa who must try to win the $100K prize by coupling up. That's like $50,000 a piece to get laid. A competition. If this is only like a 5-week competition, 10 grand a week, win or lose, I'll take it. Hey, Read by Nature, it's good to see you. Hail, Admiral and crew. Hail, Read by Nature, we love you. Oh, wow, I'm feeling poetic. What do you think, guys? I need to get some proper gear for the 4th of July because here's the announcement. Sean is committed to this. We're going to have possibly Krimlon if he's not doing something because Krimlon was, Krimlon was a tanker, man. He was in the Armored Cav, man. He was badass. We might have him with us. And for the 4th of July, Saving Star Trek is going to do a movie that, I mean, can you guess what movie we're going to do for the 4th of July? I guess we've seen enough of MILF Island, or Love Island USA. Admiral, sir, your head is gigantic, sir. Sir, perhaps your head could be a little less large. Sir, perhaps you could just move your head to the other side of the screen. Sir. There we go. All right. You know what? In memory of Star Trek, the Terra Prime logo. Okay, so Love Island USA looks like a pretty creepy show. $50,000 to try to get laid. There's a Bollywood version of Admiral Teag named Ash K. Kahana. I would just love to hear President Trump try to say his name. Let me see. Aksahai Keheda. I love when Trump tries to pronounce foreign names. It's one of my favorite things he does. I love, you know what? I hope he's our most, you know what? I take that back. If there's a president better with sound bites than him, could you imagine? I mean, my God.
Sir, steam is better. Sir, honestly, the dogs are better. Sir, I have the man. Sir, my name is Raisin. $1 billion, sir. $1.1 billion, sir. Sir, he has a cold. Don't shake his head. Sir.
All right. So this week we finish up we finish up Star Trek. We'll talk about the final episode a little bit. It's considered by most people now to be an episode of TNG that we got later. It's a bad addendum to a bunch of bad movies. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. I enjoyed the Star Trek part of it, the Enterprise part of it, a little bit. The best thing about that episode is we don't have to respect the death of Trip. Trip could be in Star Trek United. We want Star Trek United, and we'll probably talk a lot about Star Trek United, and we will probably call the final episode of Star Trek United, as Star Trek Enterprise, Star Trek United retrospective. So we'll look back and we'll look ahead. I think that on the TV end, Star Trek Enterprise would be a fantastic way to keep the series going and a fantastic way to keep everyone entertained. You know what? Scott Bakula, by the end, we kind of loved him as captain. He comes bounding out in Broken Bow with endless enthusiasm for the role. He does a great job right away. The sexual tension with DePaul, great stuff. Season 1 of Enterprise, one of the most streamed seasons of Star Trek in all of Star Trek on Paramount Plus. We had the good fortune of deciding, well, you know what? Admiral Teag made an executive decision. We're going to start with Enterprise. It made sense. when you take when you take on a franchise like Star Trek and you decide that you're going to, review every episode and you're going to try to go more or less chronologically, and then YouTube changes things, and that's fine. You know what? The Mirror Universe arc taught us a lot about Star Trek that's going to inform going ahead. The Mirror Universe arc, just the Deep Space Nine episodes alone and what we can expect. Like, we are we have 11 years to figure out a plan to make Deep Space Nine interesting. Oh my God! Am I afraid of Deep Space Nine? Was it 7 seasons of Next Generation? So that's 3.5 years, because we did 4 years of Enterprise and 2. So basically we can get it done in about half the time, because we go year round. They only go 26 episodes a season. So 3.5 years to do Enterprise, 3.5 years. So Deep Space Nine is only 6 years off. We have 6 years to figure out Deep Space Nine. I don't know. It's going to be tough. There are some episodes, but I'll be really good at Star Trek reviewing by then. By that time, I'll be passable. So there it is, Terra Prime. If I leave it up there, I'll probably get in trouble. You know what? We love Terra Prime and we love Enterprise. Terra Prime forever. And hail Read for Nature. I think that I might have left that up there long enough by now. Let's see. Wes Cagle says hail to Read by Nature. Buddy says hail. Reed's hail and back. We got USA from our good friend Wes Cagle. Sorry, don't shake his hand. He has a cold. I hear that Trip gets retconned as alive in some novel or something. In a consistent bunch of novels and a couple of comic books, they have gone out of their way to say that the only place that Trip dies is in the Enterprise D holodeck. So that's great news for Star Trek United. Remember, we can't get T'Pol back. A man who made $165 million in 1 year. 1 fucking year. That's $3 million a day. I don't think that his wife's got any need to go back to work, even if it doesn't work out. And we hope it does. The only good possible news is that Rivers Rapinoe, her son, is now 23 years old. So she is very into family, but she can now say that she raised her kid. Her kid will be out of college and, on his way to acting on his own or running Live Nation. It's funny, when I don't do the show and I go to a concert, I'm still helping T'Pol. I'm still helping Jolene Blaylock. I'm literally putting money in her pocket by publicizing the show. Not a lot, fractions of a penny, but maybe $1 or $2 when I go to a concert. You don't make $160 million in a goddamn year. If you're not making a couple of bucks. I went to see the Marky Ramone Christmas show. It was $50. How much of that did she realize? I've always believed Trip was alive. The final episode was a holodeck reconstruction from events 100 years in the past. Bound to be errors. Not only that, but Riker had done it in holo novel form. It could have been a novel that had a what-if ending. He could have had a what-if ending for himself. He was using it as a learning tool for the Pegasus episode. I lobbied to not watch it until we watched Pegasus. But we'll talk about it briefly. Then we'll talk about seasons 3 and 4. And we'll look ahead to United. And maybe a celebrity will pop in. Who knows? You know what? We are very proud to be the biggest Star Trek Enterprise watching community on YouTube. RRTNZ and Buddy Hepburn treat the entire series as though maybe there's bound to be some errors. That would be, for the retcon, very helpful. Read by Nature says a good point. It could also just brush it off as faulty records or tie it into a new storyline for Trip. Temporal Cold War, you got that too, but the Temporal Cold War was a little too cute. No one loved it. Actually, there's an episode of Enterprise where T'Pol and Archer get together. I can live with that, unlike her and Trip, which was about lust. Archer and T'Pol become close friends. The Elizabeth episode bonds them. They come together out of lust and like trips and pain, right? So they justify. And because Phlox is a manipulative, like, just like horn dog, he like pushes them together. He really does. And it's really something. But you know what? To Paul or not to Paul? That is the question. Oh, to Paul her all night long. You know what? To Paul dancing. Nice. Even when RRTNZ thinks that you've cracked a great joke, you know you've done a fine job. All those great Chuck Norris jokes. Every time we see the great Chuck Norris, we should all take a moment to think of the great RRTNZ, a super fan, and like it was a rough time on the internet. There's been 2 times that my friend Welshie, as I call him, has picked me up. There was a time when like we were just like reputational attacks, damage coming from now discredited people. It's all over now. No need to relitigate it. You know, show, you know, just grinding along, getting through it, refusing to quit. RRTNZ was on there, and I said, is it rinsed? Is it? And then like I realized from watching Critical Drinker, I said, oh my God, it's are you RRTNZ? And he like super chatted me right away. And like I felt good for like a couple of days after that. I was like, wow, like the RRTNZ discriminating viewer of YouTube shows likes my show. Like he came by my show and he supported it. And that gave me hope to go on. I intend to create the most convincing Star Trek United video of all time. I have learned so much since I made the last video almost a year ago. The new video creation method is borrowed from what Grok told me the Critical Drinker does. If I ever meet the drinker and he tells me Grok was wrong, Grok still gave me a good idea. Apparently, Critical Drinker goes full rant, then he tightens the rant, then he reads the rant again. When he listens to the rant, he then edits the rant down to its tightest size, and he goes with quality. It doesn't matter how long it is. And then if he thinks the line is good, but he didn't speak it well, he will re-speak the line. And that's what I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 videos. And you can tell Miami Vice and Fury, a video that got a lot of, you guys really showed a lot of love to Fury, a controversial take, and a video that, you know what, a lot of people think was probably a little too long. I had a lot of points to make. I could have gone 3 more minutes. You know what? Someone tell Mauler that Admiral Teag supports the long. I was willing to go longer than the optimal time. There was more than 8 minutes, and I still had to cut stuff out of the Fury video. I wanted to go 17 minutes. I could have talked about why does Brad Pitt speak fucking German for no reason. Why does Brad Pitt speak German for no reason? And ladies and gentlemen, sirs and madams, yes, I have not shaved in like a week, so I look seedy. But like the thing, don't be concerned about the suntan. I know it makes me look more Cuban. I cannot steal your wallet through the computer. You don't have to worry. Although I would not keep, if you're listening to me on Bluetooth, I'm not going to lie. Don't keep the Bluetooth next to your wallet because I don't know. I'm Cuban. I'm resourceful. I might find a way to, like, you know what? Like, if you have the screen on, I might be, you know what? If you have the right kind of wallet that keeps out the radio frequency waves, it won't happen. But, like, I might be able, like, you know what? I won't say who it is, but you've got your phone right next to your wallet, and it's true. I can read your wallet. I can see your ID. You know what? Come on. Help me out here, guys. Like, you know what? I don't need the personal information. That was a pretty good bit. Maybe I'll clip that. You know what? Clips coming soon. Some shorts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the AI to find the short moments, and then I will judge how long they should be. I think that this is a longer form channel. 5 minutes, I think, is like kind of a minimum for a conversation. It takes us that long to turn around. Wes Gagel thought it was funny. All right. I like it. I love it. Let me take a look. We also have on our screen some beautiful, oh, sir. You did it. You did it. All right. Let's do this one. Let's put it on screen. Oh, I'm definitely I'm going to end up on a State Department list. Sir, we have to call Albert Einstein. The Cuban flag is brought to you by Wes Gagel. Sir, Laughing. All right. As we get ready to, contemplate enterprise, I want to say, how fucking funny is it that I might get reparations? It's Juneteenth. Let's talk about Admiral's reparations as a Cuban. Listen, I had to vote today as a New Yorker and a Hispanic New Yorker. I had a guy come to my door and stumping for the Democratic Socialist Party. And he said, "You know what, sir, can we count on your vote?" And I said, "No." And I said, "Why?" And I said, "I think you've over-succeeded." And he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because ranked choice balloting is tyranny." And you know what these people said to me? "Oh, was that even a Democratic Socialist idea?" I said, "You knocked on my door. You fucking tell me. Where's your defense of that? How come I don't get capitalism? How come in a part of New York City, because of infrastructure work, I have a limited choice of who my internet carrier could be? I have a choice of 3. There's 11. How come I don't have a choice of all 11? I should be able to choose. Anyway, how come as a New Yorker I have limited capitalism?" So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to my reparations in Cuba. People want me out of America. Whoa, RRTNZ. I've got to heart your chat right now, sir. What a generous thing. RR is going to be here to represent the fans, but maybe, what I can say, for you, I'll do this one. You ready? I can reach any star. I got faith. Faith of the heart. I'm so glad to thank you so much for this extremely generous super chat. Let's put it up on screen. Chuck Norris recharges the lithium crystals by rubbing them against his beard. Oh my God. Awesome. That's awesome. That's how you polish the lithium crystals. It's the only thing that can polish the lithium crystal. When Klingon pain sticks touch Chuck Norris, they scream. Chuck Norris is a doctor and a bricklayer. Chuck Norris, don't beam up. The ship beams down. Oh, Welshie, my friend, I cannot wait to have you here. It's going to be amazing. I love when I get to stream with RRTNZ. I stream with RRTNZ sometimes when we do Miami Vice. It's a crazy time difference. We're privileged when he takes the time out to come see us and hang out with us. It's like the next day. He gives up a piece of his Sunday to be here. I can't wait to hear him. He is the person who bought this channel, the Zindy Arc. How? I was depressed about it, man. I didn't think, and I heart your chat. I heart your chat. I heart all your chats. Let me go back there and heart everyone's super chat. Everyone, give these generous super chats a like. And look, it's Juneteenth. We're turning the thumbs black, in celebration. RR, you orange man, bad. You kept the thumb white. Just kidding, sir. So is Wes Cagle about his ghost costume. You know what? Let's just say that the Forrest Gump's ancestor and Wes Cagle's ancestors probably knew each other. What can I tell you? Sir, just kidding, sir. I'm sure they fought for New Jersey in the Grand Army of the Potomac. And, Admiral, sir, I took the Jinker's recommendation about Durandor last night. It was great. I found the Bollywood doppelganger. He does look a little like Admiral Teag. You know what? I did some research on this one. The people of, the Iron Age, not the Iron Age, the Iron Age, who passed through Europe, the Indo-Europeans, they were from a part of the world that passed through Spain and went into England. So if you look at this guy, if you gave him fairer skin, he could pass for a Narthy, couldn't he? He does, if he looks like Admiral Teague, then he must look a little Welsh, unless he looks unlike my Welsh qualities, right? Because I believe from my Northern Iberian Spanish, I get Galician. I get my Welsh DNA as well. It's from the same core group of Iron Age people. Well, we're from the same group of Hindu Europeans. I have Welsh DNA through my Irish ancestors, though. So the Spanish people, that was like a false positive. But like, you know what? If there's anything I could be, like, I love the whole Welsh thing. I'm an honorary Welshman by self-decree. I hereby decree myself an honorary Welshman. You guys have done so much for the English language with your Welsh language. And the charm of making, I will learn how to speak it in the original Welsh one day. Can I do? Anal nathrak mithras ethel dachliende. Was that the charm of making? Did I just speak Welsh? You know what? I believe Tintagel is in Cornwall, but that's not Wales, is it? I don't know. We'll find out. Guys, it's been an awesome time talking to you. You're the best fans in the world. I want to thank everyone who was here for the show. You guys made it what it was. And you know what? Saving Star Trek is brought to you by Admiral Teag. The insanity of Alex Kurtzman, a lot of times. The genius of Gene Roddenberry, every time. And fans like you, especially Lombardi 1969, Gavin Blackburn, my friend Blackie, Crimlon, Rocco the Brave, the Trek Reviewer, the Lemon Pie Citrus. And you know, I still have a super chat to read, sirs. I can't stop. Wait, I really effed up. Let's do this one. Wes Cagle. As a Christian of Italian descent, says Wes Cagle, I demand reparations from the government in Rome for all the persecution of my ancestors. I demand it. Ow! All right, I demanded it for you. All right, Wes Cagle, Cogley from Star Trek. And now Nathrak Uthrath Becheth. Oh, that's good. You learn quickly. That's good. All right, check it out. Next time you watch Excalibur, when Uther charges across the cliff on the mist, when Merlin is standing with his back turned going, ride, ride, his helmet is facing us, and there are reflected in the helmet 2 eye sockets and a skull face. And then he turns around and his eyes are where the skull things were. And he says, the future has taken root in the past. It is finished. And it is like one of the most incredible moments in film history. Snowdub said the other day his mom took him to see it and he only remembers images of it as a kid. What a movie. What a movie. It had to be re-released again as PG-13 just because so many people wanted to see it. The definitive Arthurian tale and a Star Trek-like movie in a lot of ways. It's old. That's old Irish Gaelic. Probably used it because they filmed Excalibur in Ireland. They filmed it on John Borman's estate. But Arthur was a Briton and Merlin was a Welsh name, so it should have been Welsh. Still a great movie, though. I think John Borman thought it would be poetic justice to put an Irishman on the throne of England. I think he said that. That was the way he likes to do things. Listen, Saving Star Trek was brought to you by all those great fans and by financial donations by fans like my friend Wes Cagle, many times a host on this channel, RRTNZ. Thank you, sir. A member of the Q Continuum tonight. Sean Carter, a mighty friend, co-host, and a comfort in tough times as we sail into the ion storm. I know that I have Sean at helm, helping me guide the ship, and helping me. Actually, Sean, you're at the engineering station. I would say that, you know what, JT would be at helm. You know what, JT is more the helmsman, and Jerm is tactical. I know he's sitting there just waiting to fire those photons. Like, Jerm is definitely the guy at tactical. And Sean, so thank you. And Radioactive Actual. And some guy named Admiral Teag who sent 5 memberships. You know what? Welcome to the family, everybody. I love you all. You guys are the best. Let's take a look back at the live chat and make sure that I got everything. There are tons of Irish stars in Excalibur. Liam Neeson, Kieran Hines, Seamus of Taters. Oh, wait, I made the last one up. Corin Redmond is great in that movie as the Duke of Cornwall. You'll never take the diesel and you'll never have a grain. Patrick Stewart, great British actor. All right, I'm out of here. You guys, let's have a great Star Trek show tomorrow. I'll see you at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. Well, she will be here with us for These Are the Voyages, Star Trek United, the end of Enterprise. Good night. I love you all. Bye.
This is a personal massager.